Hey everybody, Gery Deer here with GLD Enterprises Communications, and I wanted to talk to people about remote work. We just published an article about this a couple of days ago on our website, but we wanted to just throw this out there again. I know with the virus scare and everything going on, people are trying to adjust to now working in places other than their own offices, and that sometimes can be a problem for people. So we wanted to just run through a few things and show you some things that we do here at GLD Enterprises to help you out. So I don't know if most of you know this or not, but our office is actually on the same property with my home. So I have a secondary building. It's a large building. I won't show you much of that because some of that is private space, but I can give you sort of a walk around of our office space, and you can sort of see it here. And this is what I'm looking at just a second ago. This is the opposite side. You've probably seen pictures of this if you've seen our website. You can see there's Julie Barth's editing bay over there. And this is the basic office space. So we have a community, what we call a community room or a studio, is outside. And we have, obviously this is my own private workspace with everything that I do here. But the computer systems, everything, desk, all that stuff is right here. This is where I do the majority of my work. But what we can do is show you the other aspects of the studio too. But the thing that I wanted to impart to people here mostly is that your ability to work at home has to do with your commitment to time. So one of the biggest things that gets in your way if you're going to work by yourself is partially just getting accustomed to working alone with no other people in the room or in the building for that matter, or having people in the room that shouldn't be, like your kids. The cat walking on your computer, stuff like that can be really distracting. So we've recommended a few things on the Facebook page and on the website, but the couple of things that I would really strongly recommend, I originally had my office in a spare bedroom in our house. So the problem became that every time I walked past it, it felt like, oh, I'm not getting that work done, or there's a stack of stuff in there, and I would end up having to close the door just to walk by the room because you would realize you're never off duty when you work at home. So you have to set a dedicated space aside. If what you have is a spare bedroom or a nook somewhere, make that your workspace, and it's not used for anything else. It is solely for the purpose of you doing your job. So the computers and everything that are out here, so you can see these machines that we use in the office. The laptop is tied to a primary main monitor, and you'll see it's vertical, by the way. I don't know if you can tell that or not. There's the computer right here, and here's the vertical monitor because I write and I keep the vertical monitor there, but that's another issue. But having this dedicated space, no matter where it is in your home, gets you away from the day-to-day. You don't want to be distracted by things like, oh, there's all that laundry I need to do. I forgot to put the cat out. The garage needs to be swept out. Don't do any of that stuff because it's going to be easy to fall into that if you're not used to it. Plus, you've got to be productive. You have a regular day job. So the idea is to set your time so that you have normal working hours. Working hours are 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever they happen to be for you. And it doesn't have to be those times. You can do it at different times than that. It's totally up to you depending on what your work situation is. But most of the time you want to be able to communicate with other workers and do the normal day-to-day tasks that you have to do. So in order to do that, you have to be flexible enough to say, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to put my clothes on, take a shower, eat my breakfast, whatever it is I normally do, and then go into that as if it's any other day, but you're going to that shared space of your house and your workspace instead of getting in the car and commuting to your office. So it's a very different kind of mentality. I have a roughly 12-second commute. The sidewalk between my house and our facility here is about 40 feet long. So it doesn't take very long to cross that path, and then you're out into the workspace. But when it was in the house and I had that bedroom space that I converted, I made it as much of an office space as I could. There was not that much comfort in there. It was made with an office chair, my desk, my work equipment, my books, whatever I needed to have in there. And most of the time, the things that you really need to be practical and to stay busy and to keep everything moving that you want to have is you need a computer, you need a good internet connection, and you need some kind of broadcast software like Skype or something along those lines. If you don't like Skype, there's Zoom. There's a lot of other things that you can use to do meetings with over telecommuting. And then also you need to have a telephone. That's it. That's all you got to have. So you're set to go with whatever you are. If you're an office worker, this is the kind of stuff that you can do. If you're not, working at home may not be an option. But if you have to do it, again, set up a primary workspace like we have here. This is just for doing my job. Now, I do have the advantage of having a separate facility to work in, but if you don't, again, isolate yourself a little bit, set those basic hours, and by the way, I should mention, get dressed, get up, get dressed, do a normal day. So a lot of people want to, I'm home, I can work in my PJs. You can, but your brain doesn't understand that. So if you're in your PJs, you're going to think, relaxing. You have to adjust your thinking. So I'm to the point where now I really need to be dressed. Now I'm wearing workout clothes today. It's Saturday here where I am, and I'm wearing workout clothes because I was doing that earlier, and I can just go ahead and go to work and do the things I needed to do today. So I had a conference call, and I had other things to do. I'm dressed effectively for whatever I was going to do, but if it's a regular work day, I'm wearing the typical stuff. I've got a button down, I've got, either nice jeans or slacks on. It's a normal day because I may have to leave and go to an office meeting, or I may have to go visit a client. I want to be ready for that if that happens. So also it helps keep your own brain focused. You know exactly what you're doing. You're here to work. You're not here to relax. So that being said, you have to make sure that you have that kind of time. Also take plenty of breaks. So taking a break for lunch, getting away from that workspace is very important. Take a break every hour, walk around, go outside, do whatever you need to do. But here's what you don't want to do. Don't get tied into doing chores. So if you know that laundry needs to be done, I'll just take a minute and go put that load in. It doesn't stop there. Then you see, those need to be folded or those need to be put away. And it becomes this thing now and it takes over. And you can get sort of hooked into that stuff and start working on things. I'm just going to clean the sink. It needs to be washed. I'm going to put these dishes away. Don't do that. Go right back to work. Don't focus on any of that stuff. And by the way, your family and friends need to understand that you are working. You're home, but you are unavailable. So you treat it as if you're anywhere else. You don't answer your home phone. Turn it off. Do something. If you have a landline that is a separate phone from your cell phone or whatever that you don't use for work, turn it off. Have the message machine pick it up. Whatever you're going to do, make sure that you have that isolated time to do your job. Finally, the last piece of advice I'm going to give is make sure that you understand what your job is. If you have work that you're supposed to be doing and you have deadlines to meet, by all means meet those deadlines. You have to do the same thing you've always done. Don't change your path and be as productive as possible. Get the office people that run your business to understand that telecommuting is not a bad thing. Working from home is not a bad thing. That you're capable of doing it, that you're disciplined enough and committed enough that you can do your job. So hopefully that will help. It's very short, I realize that. If you want more advice on this, check out our article at gldenterprises.net. Read the whole thing about the remote work, and that'll help you a little bit. All these tips are there, plus a bunch more. And if you have questions, feel free to email us. Maybe if you have big questions, we'll make a video about it and we'll call you out. So hopefully we'll talk to you soon, and keep working out there. Don't let this stuff get to you. It's going to be over soon. We'll make it work. Have a great day.